Hello, here we are again. I wanted to go over this new spread that I'm making, the four keys. I made a couple of YouTubes on it, and I think I made two, maybe one. I'm not too sure. But anyway, it's a spread that I came up with about in November, I think it was. This is February now, just tomorrow's February. It was about 3 months ago. And I just was toying around with it in my mind for a couple months, and then I finally started putting it together. I thought, or the reason I started putting it together is because I really thought it had some promise. And a lot of things toy around in your head, but you got to actually materialize it into something. This really started to look like it had something to it. We're going to do a sample reading here with the four keys. I'm going to be using the Rider-Waite deck. I'll show you what this spread looks like here. And so here we go. Here's what the spread looks like. Now, this is a mat that I'm putting together. I don't know if this will ever really, if I ever really put this out there, but what I have it here for you to see now is how the four keys works. What I think makes this card spread unique is, for one thing, the pattern is a circle, and instead of a specific pattern like a horseshoe spread or a Celtic cross, the circle spread here allows you to interact the cards with each other a lot easier. I think we do that anyway. The one position helps another as you're looking into a question. And this sort of does that. Another nice thing about this spread is it's a series of 3-card spreads. Now you see here, if you think of this as a clock, if you look up here at 12 o'clock, we have what, and then it goes straight down to 6 o'clock, you have what again. So this direction here is looking at what. There'll be a card placed here, a card placed here, and we're going to have a common card in the middle that works with all of these combinations. This one common card will be a major arcana, and it's the only major arcana used in the spread. Having one major arcana, I think, is an approach that really forces you to look closely at that one major arcana and how it pertains to the reading. So there could be some advantages to that, and we'll see. We'll see how it works. I think I like it, though. I think I like it. And now there is a way to do this that I'm going to show in the sample reading here, where you don't have to separate the two packs of cards, major and minor, which is nice because if you, let's say you do the four keys, and then afterwards you want to do a Celtic cross. Well, if your cards are separated, major or minor, you'd have to shuffle them up really good to get them back all mixed up again. There's ways to do this kind of spread where you don't have to worry about that. And I want to show that to you. So the four keys focuses on a center card. That's a major arcana. And then the other cards, the circle around it, are all minor arcana. And we look into 4 aspects of this question: what, why, how, and when, which I've always felt were very good aspects to look into. What, why, how, and when, as it pertains to this question, whatever it happens to be, we're looking into. Now, if you could answer just one of those aspects in some way that the client didn't see before, you could have some very valuable information for that client. So I do feel that this spread actually has some potential. I know it could be used as a professional card spread. And it's only been out, like I said, I've only talked about this basically. I think I started talking about it in December. So. But I like it because the cards can interact with each other. So let's say you're looking into what, and you see something over here and how, a card over here that maybe helps you with what you're seeing with what. It's easy to see that how the other cards can interact with each other during this spread to some degree, and they all start fitting in together. And I think that has potential. So play around with it, see what you think of it. And what I'm going to do here is I have an actual card spread laid out here to show you what this looks like with the cards. And again, what I have here is I have a major arcana in the center, and all of these cards around it are minor arcana. One other thing I like about this spread idea. So let's say I want to look into what. What is 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock? These two cards along with the major. Y is figure that's like 1 o'clock to 8 o'clock, or 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock, you could say on a clock. And then when is 11 o'clock to 5 o'clock across. And how is be from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. All four of these three card combinations are used with the center card being the major arcana. I don't have any real order that these would be read in. I think it's better to leave it open to you as the reader. You might want to read this what from bottom to top, from top to bottom. Maybe you want to read the top and bottom first and then read the center. However it looks to you that makes sense. This allows a lot of variables for you, and it makes it easier for you to see a message in there because you leave things open to whatever works for you. So maybe in one of the aspects, you want it one direction, one order, another aspect, you're going in another order. Whatever works for you, whatever you see something, when you see something in those three cards as a message, that's what you use. And another thing with this, if you wanted to see, and we're just using one major, you could now just take another major after you've read these cards. You could just take another major and put it on top of this one in the center, and you'd have a whole different reading because that major card is now being affecting the other four aspects because it's being read with all of them. Just by changing one card, you'd have a whole different reading. But it allows you to look at different angles to your question, but instead of throwing a bunch of cards over, all you really have to do is throw over one. You're going to get different ideas. Now that we understand why the tarot works, it's easy to come up with ideas that we didn't see before as far as applications. And I think that this shows a good one. And my next book will have it in there, I'm sure. So the 4 keys. I also wanted to mention February 8th is our next Zoom meeting, our tarot gathering, and 12 o'clock Chicago time. And if you want to go to it, all are welcome. And you just go to tarotmaps.com. There'll be a link down below. And just go to the tarot gatherings in the menu and just click right into the Zoom meeting. And it's just a good time, bunch of tarot readers talking stuff. And there's a lot of things you can do. We listen to questions. People have questions, and we try to answer them. What's nice about that is you get a lot of different opinions from professionals and novice readers as well. Yeah, it's fun just to rub elbows with the group. So I'll turn the camera around. We're going to do a 4 keys, and I'll be using the Rider-Waite. And I want to show you how to shuffle that, how to apply this card reading too without without separating the two packs of cards. And it works out nice. We'll get started. Okay, here we are, 4 keys. Like I said, when you put this spread together, when you lay these cards out, even though we're using the majors specifically in one area only, and the minors in another, you don't have to separate this deck. And what I like about that is if you ever do separate the deck, if you want to back as a mixed up deck again, you got to shuffle the hell out of it, and it's really a pain in the neck. So you don't have to do that with this. The way I do the 4 keys, I'm going to show you that right now. Okay. I'll start laying cards out, let's say the top. So we're going to do it like this. We're just going to throw over cards. Here we have the 10 of wands. I'll put that in the top, number 12 position. Knight of Pentacles. Five of Wands. The World card. Now this World card is the first major. So that would go in the center. Nine of Pentacles. Six of Wands. Eight of Cups. Star card. That's a major. We're not going to use that major. But we're not going to move it. We're just going to leave it there and just throw another card over the top of it until we get a minor. That's another major. Not going to use that either. Here we go. Five of Cups. So that's what we're using. And we have the Lovers. We're not using the Lovers. That's a major. And we got the Seven of Swords. And there's your spread. I'm trying to keep it in close to the camera here. But that's the spread right here. And you can see that's the same thing as what we have. You can see it's the same thing. You can see it's the same thing as what we have here. Only now it's on the table. Major's the World card. Nice card. So what we have is what, why, how, and when. 3 card spreads, major, common with all 4 aspects of this question. What is the question? A completion with the 10 of Wands. We have the six of Wands down here. Again, I'm saying we don't have to have this in some order. Maybe you want to start with the 6, go to this and go to this. Or maybe you want to go from the 6 to the 10 to the major. Whatever you see, whatever you feel makes sense to you here. Because of something that's ended, we've got challenges here we got to take on. Something's gone. Something that was there is no longer there anymore. And now we have challenges to take on to make things a better, in the long run, a better situation. So difficult transition, but in the long run, it's better for us. That's how I'm going to read this. An end cause a conflict or a challenge we have to take on, but we know in the long run, it's the best thing. It's going to work out real good for us if we can get through it. That's how I'm seeing this. Again, all my questions will always be, how are we going to accomplish our goal? So I'm seeing this as some type of a challenge, something that happened that resolved or that ended something and into something that has now put a challenge on us and made it difficult for us to move forward. But we know if we do take this on and face it, it'll be the best, it'll be good for us. So with the world card. You could also look at it this way. You could say, well, okay, because of I have a challenge in trying to complete something. I have a challenge to try to make something accomplished here with the 10. 10s are completion to me. 6s are overcoming obstacles, taking on challenges, persevering. The world card is peace and harmony. So the only way you want to work these 3 cards together as it pertains some way to your question will work fine. And I don't like to put any specifics on any of these aspects. So it's never going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 1, 2, 3, or something like that. I'm going to mix it up every reading I do in the order that they happen. I think it's going to always be what, why, how, and when, though. I think that would probably be best to keep the same. It's just the order that I read the 3 cards in for any of those specific elements is going to change every time I'm just going to go how I feel it looks the best to do. Again, if I want to change, if after I did this reading, if I wanted to change it, I don't have to change all these cards. I want to take another aspect of this. I could just sit there and put another major in the center and read these cards, and we have a whole different outlook on what I'm seeing in these cards just because of one card, because this card is common with all of these cards. We're getting ahead of ourselves, though. We're not going to do that. What do you want this in your life? I got the Knight of Pentacles. I mean, the 7 of Cups. Knight of Pentacles, 7 of Cups, the World. I feel that, and why do I want this in my life? I feel it's a way of moving forward. It's the only way I can move forward is I have to take action. Knights are action. 7s are confidence and experience, progress. So it's a way of progression. It's a way for me to better myself in some way that I know will help me in the quality of my life. It'll make me happier if I do take action on this. It's just something I feel basically I need to have in my life. How are we going to get this accomplished? This is interesting. We have 5 of Wands, World, 5 of Cups, 2 5s, and the World. How are we going to get this accomplished? A lot of changes. 5s are change to me. 5s are a change. A lot of things have to be turned around. A lot of new things, furniture has got to be rearranged. A lot of changes in our life. Getting rid of old habits or things that hold us back is our challenge here, I think. We have a lot of major changes to happen here. So in order for this to really happen, we have to realize that we have to make major changes. It's not going to happen if we take small steps here. Major changes have to happen in order for this to happen. So I would think that you're going to have to really go through and look at really taking things apart and replacing things, changing things around. That's how it's going to happen. When is the best time to act here? It's another 7. We have 7 of Cups here, 7 of Swords here. Again, it's easy to take a look at these cards and how they interact with each other. We have 2 6s down here. We have 2 5s, 2 6s, 2 7s. 5, 6, 7. That makes me think that this, in order for this change to really happen, things have got to progress one step at a time. First things first. When to take this on. I'd say what I'm seeing here, we have this again. We got the 2 6s, we got the 2 7s here. I'm seeing as soon as you start the ball rolling here, as soon as you start taking on challenges, getting other people to work with you, though, I think is going to be important here. But as soon as you start taking these challenges on, 6 of Wands, 6 of Pentacles, as soon as you start to do that, you can start getting ball rolling here and things will start to move. I think it's going to be key for you, though, to get other people involved. Don't try to do this on your own. You're surrounded by influence around you here with the World card. Don't isolate yourself from that. Let them work with you. Keep things balanced. I'd almost look at these two wands as the two fives. Keep things balanced. As far these changes you're making have to be done the right timing, in the right way. And it's going to be helpful for you to have help on this with other people. Support, even if it's just support. The major change here with the World card. Ultimately, it's for your betterment. You have to take the actions here with the Knight of Wands or Knight of Pentacles. But remember, you're going to need help from the other people. You can't do this all on your own. Too many changes have to happen here. So if you have nobody helping you right now, move slowly because you're on a very good path here. Your reasons are good, a very good path. You know what you have to take on with the Six of Wands. You know what you have to deal with if it's something that you've lost in the recent past. So you already know what you're up against. You know what you're dealing with. To get this done, major changes have to take place. To get this done, you're going to need to get help from outside to do that. What's surrounding you, don't isolate yourself from it. People are there to help. Energy is there to help you. 5, 6, 7. I see 5s, 6, 7, 2 of each here on this spread. So I would say the 5th, 6th, and 7th month of this year, 2021, are going to be times where you're going to see actual progress happening here. Put another card down just to show you how things can change. The same spread, only now with a new major in it. Major changes, if you make those changes, you're going to see growth happen very quickly. This is a growing experience for you. What you're trying to accomplish. Remember, whatever it is, if you stray in a little bit, remember one thing, that when you're on course as long as it's a growing situation, as long as things are getting created and there are things that are there that weren't there before. Growth is important to keep you on your direction. Why you want this in your life is because you feel it is time to grow. It's time to better myself from what was before. Time to act. I'm still going to say you're locked in here with these 7s, 5s, and the 6s. So the time to act is really when you get help from other people. And you could even look at it and say the time to act is in June, July, and August. I'm sorry, May, June, July. 5, 6, and 7. May, June, and July. 5, 6, 7. So something to think about. I just wanted to show you how this worked. Remember, if you're throwing a major over out the outside here, you just leave it there and you're not going to use it. You're just going to keep on throwing cards in that position until you get a minor. As you're laying this spread out, lay it out in any order you want to, but the first major that comes up on the table goes in the center. After that, any majors that come up are just another card's laid over the top of it. What, why, how, and when? The 4 keys. I think the spread's got some potential. And it also has, it's something that you can look at and fine tune and create something from, if you want to fine tune it from there and make it work in a different way, that's fine too. So I hope you like this. Keep throwing cards. We'll talk soon.